Hello, it's Hayley again, and in my previous video I discussed the goals that I had set myself for next year during my medical transition. I'm pleased to say that I actually started to make quite good progress towards some of those goals, certainly more than I would have expected in basically less than a month, and I'm really happy about it. This video, I think everything's basically going to be on the up and up. It's all good news and I'm really happy to be able to share it with you. Straight away, you will have noticed, based off of what I said last time, that my previous hair was getting tired and needed replacing. I did that basically straight away as soon as I got paid at the beginning of the month. I was able to keep it in budget and get something fairly close to what I wanted. I got this for £199 with 40% off in the summer sale. That just all happened to land just right for me. It was 30% off anyway, and then because it was the last day of the summer sale, I got an additional 10% off and a load of hair care goodies thrown in as well. So basically this whole thing should have been £379 and I got it for £199. So in terms of that, I'm really happy. I am going to do a separate video to do with wigs and weaves and qualities and all the rest of it, because it's far too much to go into in one of these update videos, and there's a lot to it. And you might be thinking, wow, that is a lot of money to spend, but really actually this is still it's synthetic hair again, and it's still on the cheaper scale of things that I could have gone to. I will just quickly describe the details for it. It looks really dark in this video, I must admit, but it's actually in chocolate copper, which I hoped would be closer to my natural colour, because I've got a lot of red and a lot of ginger in my hair. I was originally very ginger when I was younger, and as I've gotten older, more and more brown has crept in. So I figured chocolate copper would be a pretty close match. Apparently not. It's definitely darker than my previous hair, and that was nearly spot on. There just wasn't enough red in it, so you know, it's all a learning experience. I'll find out next time. This will only last another 6 months or so anyway, so and I'll have to do it all again, so next time I'll know a little bit more. But basically it's a monofilament top with a very small pre-cut lace front, and then I went to a hairdresser's at the following day. It arrived on the Thursday of the first week of the month, and then Friday straight away the next day I went to the hairdressers that I use in Folkestone and got her to cut it to fit my features more and everything else. You'll notice, if you remember my old hair when I first got that, and you'll see it in my early vids, it's the same length again. It's a mid-length, so it just sweeps the shoulders. Eventually it will suffer the same frizz death that they all do, but it's nice to have the length back again. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. I'm still not entirely sold on it yet. It's not like the last one I bought, where straight away when I found that one previously and I put it on, I was like, I am not leaving here without it. I knew what I wanted, or I knew that I wanted it. With this, having purchased it over the internet, it's a bit trickier. You don't really know what's going to land until it does. So, you know, all in all, I'm very happy with the results, and it'll certainly do for the next 6 months. On to the next major hurdle in my life. Topic number 2, laser hair removal. I told you in the last video that I've quit the cheap stuff that I was using on my chest, the same as I quit it on my face, and that I've moved the face to the expensive stuff, and I was going to find out how much it was to get the chest done as well. I did work something out with the clinic. I was previously paying £150 to have basically from the top of my ear down to my neck, or the base of my neck I suppose, my collarbones. I've now basically brought the £40 and a little bit more, the £40 that I was spending on the cheap stuff on my chest, across to help fund this. So she agreed for an extra 45 quid, so making a total of £195 a go every 6 weeks, to do a 45-minute session, which will extend again from basically my ears, or my hairline around my ears, down to my bra line basically. it'll just be as much as we can get done in a 45-minute period for £195 every 6 weeks. I'm pleased to say it's already really working, and I mean really working well on my chest. I don't worry anymore about, you know, the possibility of there being anything that shouldn't be there. It's only had a few sessions and it's going really well, or one proper session of that, and it's going really well. That was also the third session on my face, third or fourth session on my face. I'm pleased to report that is also going extremely well. It has really started to happen, and it's not even like a suggested placebo effect, because basically what's happened is I have not started to notice the hairs, not so much drop out, but I've had a few rogue hairs, especially around my mouth. I've had a few rogue hairs after I've shaved, and I've been like, what the hell is this? You know, I've shaved, those shouldn't be there. And then I've gone to remove them with some tweezers, and literally I've touched them with the tweezers and they've dropped out. And you know, it's obviously where they're being ejected and pushed out through the skin, including the follicle, so it's all dying as it should do, which is great news. And in the last few days I've literally, and has been the last few days, I've stopped using concealer around my mouth area because I've been worried about a shadow. I've always used an orange concealer around my lip and down my jaw line and on my chin and things like that, because worried about shadows, not so much in the morning, but this is the end of a 10-12 hour day, and you know, I don't want to look ropey, or as ropey as I want to look as good as possible all throughout the day. So I've been putting that concealer on there as a safety net, but literally the last few days I haven't had to, and it's still, you know, this is the end of that said day, and there is nothing to see, and it's so nice just to, it's one less thing to worry about. I get up, I get ready, and I don't have to worry about, you know, what's going to happen later, if there's going to be, you know, a shadow that shouldn't be there. And it's just so nice. I can't describe to you how much of a relief it is. Just to that small thing, I don't have to use concealer around my mouth anymore. It means so much. It's progress, and it's proof that I can win the battle against this, you know, body hair and things, and it's good. It's a battle won, and I'm so happy, and hopefully the results continue. I also said in my last video about getting help with the funding for the said laser. I have looked into it again. I've gotten myself a meeting with the practice manager this time. That's coming up on the 6th of September. I've taken a day off of work to do it, and I just want to challenge him about this, you know, oh, we won't help you in any way with the funding, because I know, as I said before, provisions are made for transgender people, at least a certain number of sessions, you know, 6 to 8 sessions I believe it is, of face laser, or whatever you want to call it, laser hair removal is made available. So to turn around and say, one of his clinic doctors to turn around and say, no, we're not going to help, I know it's not quite right, and you know, if he wants to tell me the same thing himself, fine, he can do, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth, and I'm going to challenge him on it. Rolling into the next topic as well, I said about getting hold of the gender clinic and getting them on side. I did, and I'll go into a little more about that in a second, but basically their advice while I'm waiting was for me to look up the CCG, which is some sort of local government guideline funding for not just transgender things, but it's to do with how the NHS gives the doctors and practices the money that they need to do various procedures and things within the community. So I need to look into that and see what my local one authorises and all the rest of it, and see if he is just being, or they are just being obstinate or ignorant in some way, or if it does say that they won't help with that sort of thing, in which case I am fighting a losing battle. But like I say, I don't want to give up easily, and I've got to at least exhaust the avenues first before I take no for an answer, because the worst thing that's going to happen is I just get told no, and I'm in the position I am now where I continue to pay for it myself. If I get lucky, I get 6 to 8 sessions covered, and then I can cover the remainder myself. So it's all, as far as I say, I've got nothing to lose, and it's all on the up and up as long as I can pull it off. Speaking about the gender clinic, I was way out of the ballpark to do with that last time. I've been medically transitioning for 13 months, and this video will be basically the start of the 14th. So I spoke to the gender clinic in Daventry, and it took 3 attempts, but they finally got back to me, and basically they confirmed that I have been on their waiting list 13 months at this point, so I must have decided to medically transition. I was a bit shaky on it last time about when I had started, but I must have decided to medically transition with my private doctor, and in the following month I must have hit up the gender clinic. And so it's been 13 months I've been on their waiting list, and they advised me that I was going to be looking at another 5 to 6 months for that first appointment still to come through. So obviously I've got a bit of a wait, and until then they can't help me with anything really at all. You know, there is no discussion to be had until we've had a face-to-face meeting and everything else. So everything's hurry up and wait when you're transgender, unless you've got infinite money and you can just throw money at the problem, in which case it's all well and good, but I don't have infinite money, as most people don't. As I've threatened previously about voice videos and all the rest of it, I was speaking to my voice therapist recently, and she said we're about halfway through, she feels, at the moment, so it will be done within the year. Whether or not I'll have the results I want is basically up to me, what I'm happy with, and also how much effort I put in. She can only teach me, she can't do it for me, so yes, I have to totally agree with her. It is totally a question of self-effort and practice. And finally, another positive that I'm really happy to share with everyone. As you can see behind me, as part of my backdrop, I now have a trans flag. This trans flag is actually one I flew and walked with in a local transgender pride and march. If you'd said to me 2 months ago even that was a possibility, I would have probably laughed. The opportunity arrived sort of out of the blue. I was informed there was one going on very locally to me. I had often thought about visiting the one at Brighton, because I know it is the biggest one in the one of 2 of the biggest ones in the country. The other one is up in Leeds, called Sparkles, but this local pride basically came at the right time. I had the day off, and everything was in place anyway, and it was for a good cause. Basically I marched with the nurses association from the local hospital, and it fitted. I mean, I've spent a lot of time at that hospital, and I know a lot of the people very well, and so it made sense, and especially to represent you know, part of the LGBT community. There was already other representations of the letters marching for the Nurses Association anyway. You know, the L's and the G's were there, and I was able to provide the B and the T, so it was just really nice. I purchased a flag and was more than happy to make a statement and a bit of a fool of myself for a good cause. There will be a video vlog about it, which I'll tack on to the back of this, and probably some pictures as well, so I will leave you with those. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back next time. Bye! Hello, it's Honey, and today I have just walked in the local Margate Pride for Margate Hospital, or the QEQM. I was asked to come along by the Registered General Nurses Association, one of their members. It was a good day, good march. Everyone was really nice, a lot of people turned out. No harassment or anything, and just, it was a good day, good march. I got a big flag at the event, which you can fully expect to feature as a backdrop in most of my videos from now on. And it was just nice to be seen out and about, acknowledged, and then, you know, just be able to wave the flag for transgender people and be appreciated for coming out and everything else. Big thank you to the Registered General Nurses Association, or the RGN, and the person that invited me along, Jay Davison. It was a nice day, good march, as I said, and just well worth the time and effort put into hopefully getting ready and showing up, putting on a good show for other people as well. So thank you very much.